Hello, sports management students. My name is Sully Lynch, and here today I'm going to talk about my internship experience with UMSL Athletics. So, to get right into it, I'm going to talk about my roles and duties as an intern for the UMSL Athletic program. And mainly, I focused on game day operations. I was helping doing a ton of different roles on game days, but I also had stuff to do on off days, working on various side projects. And of course, I'm also there to help set up and tear down before and after games. But yeah, I did a lot of different things and learned a lot of different roles while at UMSL Athletics. I became very skilled at producing the live broadcast via the truck software that we use. I also really enjoyed scoring games with NCAA live stats for basketball and stat crew for baseball, softball. I also played music during the game, whether that's walk-up songs or between inning music. And then I also was, as you see in this picture, I was conducting instant replay using that laptop there on the table. And then a couple times I was even the PA announcer for baseball games, which was really fun. So my goals for this internship were really to focus on learning as much about college athletics as I could. I've never worked in college athletics before, so this was a very brand new opportunity for me. I also wanted to dive deeper into analytics and practice scoring games because that's something that I really want to focus on and get into in my career. My main focus is analytics. I didn't really get to do that as much as I wanted to this internship because it's more game day operations focused, but I still have a passion for that, and that's still important. Also wanted to learn other valuable skills, which I definitely accomplished. And then I also wanted to discover new areas to investigate in sports, and I also did that with media production. I'd never really done production truck software and learned on how to run broadcasts, and so doing all that was something that was really interesting to me, and could definitely be another option on the side in my career at some point. My biggest takeaways from this internship, there's a lot that I learned. There's so many different roles to learn in sports, like media production to instant replay to stats and music and all that. And media production, like I was talking about earlier, is a very valuable skill to master, and I really did enjoy it. Also, you hear a lot of times about how there's a lot of long hours in the sports industry, but I really actually felt that with this internship. On some days, I had to get up, at like 6:30 in the morning, get in early to help set up game days, and then we'd have a double header, and then I have to finish putting everything away, and so then I wouldn't be done with the day until about 6:30 in the afternoon or in the evening. So that's a 12-hour day, and that's just kind of the norm in sports. Schools are always looking. Also, I learned that schools are always looking for people to help run their teams. One of my supervisors told me about this after a basketball game one day. Just like learning all the different roles that go with basketball game days, like whether you're on the stats doing at the table doing stats, or if you're doing replay, or you're doing the shot clock operator. If you're the shot clock operator, there's always schools that are around the St. Louis area or across the country that are looking for people to help fill those roles, just in case if somebody is absent or whatever. And so it's important to know these, and then you get your name out to these schools, and they'll actually hire you and pay you for certain games to work. And I didn't really even know about that or consider that until my supervisor told me, which was really interesting. Lastly, collegiate sports is a massive industry. It really is, and it's very different from professional sports. Obviously, you have the three different divisions in NCAA, and there's a lot of differences, a lot of rules about collegiate sports that aren't in professional sports that you have to learn and know about. And then lastly, what would I tell about my younger self? I probably tell my younger self to don't be afraid to ask questions, because especially when you're starting out, there's a lot of new things you got to learn. And some people might just think you already know. But if you don't be afraid to ask questions. They're not going to think, oh, you're stupid or anything. Just speak up, just so that you can ensure that you can do the job right. Because it's better to ask beforehand and do it right than think, oh, I got this, and then mess up and then have to get someone to help you out. And I learned that a lot during this internship. Lastly, I'd probably tell myself to focus on yourself and learn from your mistakes. It's all about growth and improvement. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Just try to learn from them. Lastly, my advice for students: if you're an incoming student, you're just now arriving in the sports management program, whether you're a freshman or a transfer student, my advice to you is just to focus on what you want to learn in sports. Obviously, when you take sports management, it's a very, broad term for the sports industry for what you're learning about. So you have to find some sort of avenue to really dive into and really learn. And then the second point on here really goes with that: try everything. Because if you might not know what you want to do, like I did when I first came here, then you want to try as much things as you can to figure out what you want to, excuse me, what you want to do. And finding something that you don't want to do is just as valuable as finding something that you do want to do, because that just narrows your list. That eliminates something. Oh, I don't want to do marketing or whatever. And then for current students, never too late. It's never too late to change what you want to do. Maybe you're super interested in ticket sales, but then one day you're like, maybe I'm not feeling it, or maybe you discover some other thing that's really, really enticing to you. It's never too late to change that, to start focusing on that. And then lastly, I'd probably just say to stay positive. I know getting jobs can be very, very stressful, and we're learning a lot of things and how, oh man, the sports industry, it's so big, but there's a lot of people that want to get into it. But my advice probably just stay positive. You're at some point, you're going to get the job that you want, and you just got to work for it. But good things come to those who work hard, and so that you just got to stay positive about that. Then lastly, on the sport management program as a whole, I biggest advice: talk to Dr. Valeska, ask her questions, utilize her as much as you can. She's always there to help you. And then lastly, this little pro tip that I didn't even learn about until like a few weeks ago, because I didn't know about it. But when you take extra internships, since you're supposed to be required to take two, but if you take more, like by your third or fourth internship, it'll let you allow you to take one less academic course, because you're supposed to take like 5 electives for the sport management program. So if you take extra internships, that's one less elective for your degree, which is really nice. So that's it pretty much for me. Conclusion: I love UMSL athletics. Think it's a great place to really get started, whether you're a freshman, transfer student, whatever. And I enjoyed my time there, and I grew a lot in my professional career. So thank you very much, UMSL, and go Tritons.